Hello, I'm Tai Hui, the Chief Market Strategist for Asia Pacific from J.P.Morgan Asset Management, and welcome to this video discussing key macroeconomic themes from our third quarter 2021 Guide to the Markets Asia. Now, the global economy is recovering, but at a different pace. The progress in vaccination, testing, and tracing could determine the next group of economies to recover. China's recovery is complete and is now expanding at its trend growth. The US is now leading the way because of economic reopening and a very large economic stimulus from both the central bank, the Federal Reserve, and the government. Europe should pick up the pace of recovery later in the year. Asia and emerging market exports are growing strongly, but domestic demand is still impacted by the pandemic. Inflation is another factor that worries investors, especially in the US. While economists have already been warning about rising inflation in recent months because of high commodity prices and low base effect from last year, US inflation data are still higher than expected. There are supply-side issues, such as rising international shipping costs, semiconductor shortages, and labor market distortions that could keep inflation elevated, at least in the short term. Now, even if inflation eventually returns to the Federal Reserve's long-term target of 2%, the Fed would need to revisit its policy decision in keeping policy rates low for an extended period of time. Other central banks are also expected to set monetary policy according to the domestic conditions. For example, the People's Bank of China has already reined in credit growth to prevent excessive corporate leverage and to slow down property price increase. In contrast, most Asian central banks are willing to tolerate higher inflation in the near term and keep policy rates low in order to help their economy to get through the current bout of COVID-19 outbreak. One important implication for Asian investors is that cash return in this region is likely to stay low while facing higher inflation. How to generate income to retain purchasing power of your wealth is going to be an important question. We are going to discuss how to generate income and overall asset allocation strategy for the second half of 2021 in the next two videos. So thanks for watching. If you want to get a copy of the latest Guide to the Markets Asia, please reach out to your J.P.Morgan Asset Management client advisor.